The final defiance. Angry. Prince Andrew refuses to leave Royal Lodge. Strategy or spite? Eviction date pushed to February. The chilling reason behind his slow-motion move. Door battle of wills. Disgraced Prince Andrew delays Royal Lodge eviction as expert claims delay as strategy against King Charles. A royal expert believes the disgraced former prince may not vacate the 30-room mansion in Windsor until February at the earliest, for one major reason. The saga surrounding Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's inevitable departure from the opulent Royal Lodge has shifted from a logistical headache to a high-stakes psychological battle, with sources suggesting the former Duke of York is actively exploiting the situation. While disgraced former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor counts down until his inevitable eviction from the Royal Lodge after being ordered out by his brother King Charles, one royal expert believes the former Duke of York is delaying as a strategy. Andrew's stubborn refusal to hasten his exit is being viewed not as simple procrastination, but as a deliberate tactic to cling to the last vestiges of his royal status and power. Crown the final anchor, clinging to the 30-room fortress. The background to this high-profile eviction is the gravest crisis the prince has ever faced. Andrew was stripped of his royal titles and kicked out of the 30-room mansion on the Windsor estate after revelations continued to emerge about his relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The subsequent royal decree from King Charles III set the wheels of his downgrade in motion. While the prince has been officially ordered to leave Royal Lodge, the move to his smaller private home on the Sandringham estate was thought to be strategic around the holidays. It is believed he won't be relocating to a private home on the Sandringham estate until next year, to avoid awkward run-ins with the royal family as they celebrate Christmas on the King's Norfolk estate. Many initially anticipated the former prince would vacate his longtime Windsor home, where he lived with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson for 2 decades, early in 2026. But a royal expert believes Andrew will drag his heels on leaving for one major reason. The psychology of resistance, kicking his heels. Royal commentator Robert Jobson detailed the mood of defiance to Hello! Magazine. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor seems to be kicking his heels. The disgraced royal has made it clear to the king and courtiers who sent him packing, that he is going nowhere fast. Despite formal notice being served in October to surrender his Royal Lodge lease, the prince's resistance is palpable. He won't budge until February at the earliest, suggesting he will spend Christmas at Royal Lodge while the king invites the rest of his close family to Sandringham. This act, remaining in the mansion during the sacred Christmas family gathering, is a potent symbol of his isolation and subtle rebellion. The official explanation for the delay is logistics. Why the delay? Logistics. Moving 2 decades of accumulated life from 30 rooms into a modest cottage takes time, close sources say. It is understood Andrew's Sandringham property isn't ready. Downsizing is complex, the palace says. However, Jobson provided the emotional key to the situation, emphasizing the lack of sympathy, but understanding doesn't mean sympathy. Sources say Andrew is leaning on every technical step available to slow the process. Delay as strategy. Why rush to your own diminishment? The phrase delay as strategy is the emotional core. For Andrew, every day spent in Royal Lodge is a victory against his diminishment, allowing him to prolong the illusion of his former life. Money bag the financial albatross, a costly delay. Adding another layer of complexity is the financial burden the prince continues to bear due to his legal standing. Although he was asked to leave by King Charles, the former prince is legally allowed to stay in the royal lodge until October 2026. The specific details of his lease revealed recently show the termination date he himself set. The details of Andrew's lease were shared recently, with the termination of lease clause stipulating that Andrew served a tenant's notice offering to surrender the lease on the Crown estate on October 30, 2025, giving the minimum 12 months notice as per the terms of the lease. Crucially, this means the delay is expensive for him. This means that until October 30 next year, the disgraced prince continues to be financially responsible for the ongoing costs of maintenance and repair of the property. Only when the property is officially handed back to the Crown estate will that responsibility cease. His strategy to delay, therefore, comes at a high personal cost, financially anchoring him to the very institution that cast him out. Scroll the final stripping of honors, the context of the eviction. The king's order to vacate followed the final, decisive move to strip Andrew of his few remaining official roles. At the end of October, the king officially stripped his disgraced brother Andrew of his HRH style and his prince title, and removed his dukedom from the roll of the peerage over his serious lapses of judgment. This came after new revelations, including the publication of a posthumous memoir by Andrew's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, and the release of documents from Epstein's estate. It emerged that Andrew had emailed Epstein in 2011 saying, "We're in this together," 3 months after he claimed he had broken all contact with the convicted sex offender. Despite the overwhelming evidence and public consensus, Andrew denies all wrongdoing. The prolonged stay at Royal Lodge is more than just logistical friction. It is the final, sad act of a man using every technicality available to protest his fate, defying the order of the crown and clinging to the walls of the palace that no longer welcome him.